Hi everyone, welcome to this space. My name is Natalia Saenz and today I will going to make an interview video with this tool, this AI tool, ChatGPT. We will searching and exploring the urban style, and this tool will ask me about some aspects of my city. Yes, the city is Monteria. So let's start. Here I will send in the prompt with the questions. Can you ask me one for one, please?
Sure thing. Let's keep it simple. Here's the first question. Do you know some interesting places to visit in Monterey?
Yes, Monteria is the city where I live, and there's so many places that you could visit. For example, the Lineal Park Casino Round. This is the longest park of Latin America. The Cathedral Saint Jerome of Monteria is a beautiful building with a good structure for visit too. And the First Avenue. There are supermarkets, there are restaurants, bars where you can find so fun.
That sounds lovely. Monterey definitely has a lot to offer. So let's move on to the next one. Would you tell me when the best season for traveling to Monterey is?
Sure, the best season for travel here is June or July this month, especially in June, because in this month we have a festival and it's the birthday of our department. And here, well, you can find so many celebrations. There is a good season for come here because the environment is so fun, so musical, so interactive, and the weather is so good in this season because there is summer.
That's wonderful to know. It sounds like June or July is really a lively and festive time to visit Monterey, with great weather and lots of celebrations. All right, let's go to the next question. Can you tell me what the festivities are like in the city?
Sure. Well, the festivities are so fun, a lot of fun, music, folklore. There are people everywhere, especially in the downtown of the city.
That sounds like a really vibrant atmosphere. Lots of music and folklore. Definitely make for a fun celebration. So, moving on to the next one, could you let me know what the most important festivity in the city is?
So sure, the most important festivity in Monteria is the National Cattle Festival. That is the biggest festivity in the city because there are so many events here. For example, we have concerts, we have so many exposition of cattle, and there are to visit from tourists because they're visit famous person, and there are so much music in the city.
Oh, that's fantastic to hear. The National Cattle Festival definitely sounds like the highlight, especially with all those concerts, exhibitions, and a lot of music and visitors coming in. All right, next up. How many celebrations are there in Monterey every year?
Well, there are so many celebrations, but especially are three. The first is in Holy Week, like we say, and it's the craft work in the city, in the downtown city. There you can find products made by hand with local producers, and it is so special. And there are the sweet festival in this season because different people can show these products made by herself. And the second is in June, the festival. And third is in December with the Christmas. There is so special occasion here too.
That's great to know. So it sounds like you've got three big seasonal highlights that Holy Week Craft Fair, the June Festival, and then, of course, the special Christmas celebrations in December. All right, let's continue with the next one. Can you tell me what the music is like in Monterey?
Sure, music. We like so much the cumbia. This style is so from this department, and you can find so much rhythm difference with um, different rhythms and styles. That is so common to the vallenato. It's so common in everywhere in the city, but especially this music that is with so reading with so different expressions. It is so common the champeta music too. That is begin from Cartagena. It's so good, and there is a lot of styles and genders, but especially these three.
Absolutely. That's a rich musical mix. It sounds like cumbia really has a strong presence in Monterrey, along with the vibrant champeta influence from nearby Cartagena. So, definitely a place with a lot of rhythm and diverse musical styles. Now, let's move on to the next question. Do you know what traditions are most common in Monterrey?
Yes, there are so many traditions, but for example, in the Holy Week, it's so common that persons go to the church with her family, that putting the church in the face, and the visit from and the food. The food is so important in this season. In every season, important in this city. For example, in Holy Week, the sweets that created by each family. In June is so common the watch families in the street listening music, dancing, and in December is so special tradition to um, eat and drink chocolate with cheese until the morning, because the persons occasionally wait the sunlight with this and her family for start the Christmas times.
Absolutely. That paints a really vivid picture of local traditions. It sounds like Holy Week is a time for family, church, and homemade sweets, and then you have that lively June atmosphere with music and dancing. And of course, December traditions like having hot chocolate with cheese while waiting for the morning sun definitely sound like a special family moment. All right, let's move on to the next question. Could you tell me which typical food is common in the city?
Yes, typical food is, for example, the sweet of mango. It's so important here. The sweet of papaya that we call it caballito. And there are in food, traditional food. It's, for example, the coconut rice with fried fish. That is so important, and fried bananas, green bananas. That is so delicious, and it's so common here.
That all sounds absolutely delicious. So those sweet treats like the mango or papaya sweets like the caballito, and then the coconut rice with fried fish and those delicious fried green plantains, definitely making me hungry. It's great to hear how much variety there is in the local cuisine. All right, let's keep going to the next question. Do you know where a typical restaurant is in the city?
Yes, there are so many restaurants with typical food, but in a special way, there are one restaurant, and it's a little far from the city because it's a rural environment. It's so delicious, so refreshing, and it's called Cordova. You can find here um, traditional food of the department and the city, and you can listen to music from here, like cumbia, and there is a special environment for feel you in Monteria.
That sounds like a charming spot. So there's a place a bit outside the city in a rural setting called Cordova where you can enjoy all that traditional local food and hear the music like cumbia in a really authentic atmosphere. That definitely sounds like a great place to soak in the local culture. All right, let's continue. Can you tell me where the commercial zone is in the city?
Yes, the commercial zone in the city in Monteria is especially in the downtown uh, of the city because there you can find so supermarket, there are so stores for buy every type of products like clothes, like everything you want, especially in downtown. But there is in every around the city some supermarket and malls for you can shop too.
Absolutely. So the downtown area is really the heart of the commercial zone. Makes sense. Lots of supermarkets, stores, and basically everything you need right in the city center. And it's good to know there's also malls and shops spread around the city as well. All right, let's move on to the next one. Could you let me know how the crime rate is in Monterrey?
Oh, yes, the crime rate in Monteria is a low crime rate, but it's important that we need to reduce the crime rate downtown in the downtown because there is a lone part in the night and could be so much dangerous. You need to be careful if you come some time because these part in the city are so alone and dangerous in night and especially the south of city too it's so dangerous but in general Monteria is a quiet city with a low crime rate so sorry.
That's really hopeful insight. So overall, Monterrey tends to have a relatively low crime rate, but it's always good to be a bit more cautious in some areas at night, especially in certain parts of downtown or the southern side of the city. But it's reassuring to hear that in general, it's a pretty peaceful place. All right, let's go to the next question. Do you know which neighborhood is the most dangerous in the city?
Well, yes, and there is not a name for you, but especially the neighborhoods on the south of the city that are more dangerous in night, and some neighborhoods in the north of the city because this house could be so alone because the people come to the work and maybe there is so alone place at the day because um, there is a place that could and that is used for make criminal movements.
Got it. That makes sense. So it's not necessarily one specific name neighborhood, but generally the southern parts of the city and some areas in the north can be a bit more isolated and potentially riskier, especially at night or when they're less populated during the day. As a helpful tip for staying aware. All right, let's move on to the next question. Would you let me know how the traffic is in Monterey?
Yes, well, Monteria is Um, well, it's a little city. It's a small city, so sorry. And there is a heavy traffic in some part of the days. For example, in the rush hour when everyone goes to the work, it's a heavy traffic. But in general, it's so Pacific. And on rainy days, it is a heavy traffic too because the city doesn't have a good structure for the streets, and there is so many traffic, especially trying to avoiding the streets with so much water, with so much traffic, and that is so hard in these days.
Absolutely. That's a good perspective. So overall, since Monterrey is a smaller city, the traffic is generally peaceful, except during rush hours when everyone's heading to work. And of course, on rainy days, it can get trickier because of the road conditions and water buildup. So it's good to be aware of those peak times and weather factors. All right, let's keep going. Do you have any idea where the best neighborhood for staying in the city is?
Oh well, like the other question, I don't have a name for you, but I assure you that there's some hotels on the downtown that are so good because you can stay near to the First Avenue, near to the Cedar River. That is so special view. You can enjoy here the the animals, plants, and there is so good environment. But there is some hotels and neighborhoods, a lot of quiet at the north of the city.
Absolutely, that makes sense. So while there may not be one single named best neighborhood, the downtown area near the First Avenue and the Sino River is a great place to stay. You'll have beautiful views, a nice environment, and easy access to plenty of hotels and amenities. And of course, some quieter neighborhoods up north can also be a good option if you're looking for a calm stay. All right, last question. May I ask what your favorite thing to do in Monterrey is?
Yes, I love Monteria because it's so peaceful. You can come everywhere like in 15 minutes. But I love in Monteria enjoy the Casa Festival. I love it. I love to go to the First Avenue, get some drink, eat some delicious food, and there is a special place in the First Avenue where you can sing, but you can play karaoke with your friends. And that is so special because you can have a good time. That is so short place. And I don't know, I love to do that.
That sounds like a lot of fun. It's great that you can get around the city so easily and that you really enjoy the Cattle Festival, hanging out on First Avenue, having some great food and drinks, and even doing a bit of karaoke with friends. It definitely sounds like a special place with a lot of charm. And that's it. We made it through all the questions. Thanks for sharing all that about Monterey.
So thank you to you for sharing me with this space.